Hi there, my name is Randy Fay. I'm one of the maintainers of the DDEV project. DDEV is a local development environment for web developers, and we're going to just show how to do it. We're going to try to set up DDEV on Linux all the way to using it in 10 minutes. So let's see how we do here. It is 8:40. We'll see how we do. Okay, first of all, I went to ddev.com, get started, and it automatically shows me being on the Linux platform. And what we're going to do is we're going to install Docker first. So let me just open the Docker instructions, and I'm going to go down, and here's their apt repository. I'm going to paste that here. Okay, so now we'll do apt install docker ce. That's got Docker now set up for us. There's not much to do here. If I do a sudo docker ps, it will work, but we haven't enabled our regular user to use it. We have to do the post install action, which is pretty easy. Let's just take a look here. Here's their post installation action, and it's just adding the user's privilege to run Docker. So I'm going to paste that here. It's just sudo usermod Docker on my user. Normally you would have to reboot or log out and log back in again, but I'm just going to say new group Docker, and now I can do a docker ps, and Docker is all working for me. So we've done the first step now. Let's go back to the Get Started page. We've installed Docker. Now we'll install DDEV. So let's go ahead and copy this section here. This is also in the DDEV docs at docs.ddev.com, just fine. So let's paste that. Now DDEV -version should show us the current stable version of DDEV, and it does. So our third step here is to do a mkcert -install. Mkcert is DDEV's magic that lets you use HTTPS, use trusted HTTPS on your machine. It tells your browser to accept the DDEV certificates. So there is our setup, and let's go ahead and create a project. What I'm going to do is I always put my projects in workspace folder, and I'm just going to check out a standard Drupal project that I'm always working with. Just a Drupal 11 project, and I'm just going to check it out, and then we're going to use it. So here I can do a DDEV config, and it's going to use the folder name as the project name. It automatically detected the docroot, which is web, and it automatically detected the Drupal 11 code base there. So now we can do a DDEV start. So we will do a DDEV start. Now this is going to download the images, the Docker images. It's a one-time it's a one-time thing. You usually only have to do this when you're upgrading DDEV or the first time you use it. So here we are. We'll say yes, we can send instrumentation up, and here it is pulling the images. This takes a couple of minutes, but again, this is usually only on first install or upgrade, or if you're using some different thing than you were using on previous projects. So this is pretty fast internet. It might take a little longer if you have slower internet or whatever, but it does a little customization in the images to put your username and user ID in there so that you can work inside the container with the same exact username and UID. So that's what it means when it says building project images. It's building images specifically for you. Now this project has an automatic DDEV composer install on start. I forgot about that, but I'll show that anyway. Normally, you would do a DDEV composer install on a PHP project that had composer. That runs composer and PHP inside the project. Since our hook did that automatically, we were all set. So we have got our project installed. Now we're 6 minutes in on a brand new machine, and let's just go ahead and try this out and see what happens. I'm going to do a DDEV launch, and that will launch Firefox here. And here is the Drupal install screen. So I'm going to, and you see that it's got trusted HTTPS here because DDEV does that with mkcert. And I'm going to do the nice demo version of this. Here is Drupal being installed. It takes no time at all. Linux is super fast with this. I'll just put the things here that DDEV wants, that Drupal wants. And so here it is. It's all set up. Our project is running, and we've got all the normal things that we would expect to have. This is just an ordinary demo Drupal 11 site. So there we are. We're going to install PhpStorm and do a little Xdebug with this so that we can do step debugging, which is critical for any developer. So I am going to go here, and I'm going to do a sudo snap install -- classic PhpStorm. And what we're going to do is just use PhpStorm like any developer would use, and we're going to set a breakpoint. We'll just use the index.php of this project, but we're going to set a breakpoint, and we're going to have PhpStorm listen, and we're going to tell DDEV to turn on Xdebug, because we need to be able to step through our project and understand what it's doing and why. Snap is a little slower getting PhpStorm than usual right now, so I'll try to be patient, but this is the easy stuff. Just a reminder here, I'll just open another window. Our project is right here in workspace D11, and we have in the web directory, we have an index.php which drives all of this. And of course the vendor directory has been populated by our composer install, which was done inside the container. And our PhpStorm is ready. I should have done a PhpStorm amper, but I didn't. But here we are. We have read it very carefully. And now we're going to open this project. I don't know what the input thing is, but I'm going to do it anyway. Here we are. Here's the workspace directory. Here's D11. I'm going to select that. I'm going to trust projects in my workspace folder. And here we are. We see our project. We see our project. Here's the web directory. And I'm going to open the index.php. And I'm just going to make a breakpoint here. So here's my breakpoint. That's where I want to stop. Of course, you would be doing something more sophisticated in your project that you're studying your module or whatever. And now I can click the start listening for PHP debug connections. So I'm going to tell it to start listening. I have to get my sorry, I have to get that out of the way of the actual recording software. So and I want to turn on the I don't need to validate because with DDEV everything's working. So here it is, it's listening, and in DDEV I'm going to just I'm going to do a DDEV Xdebug on, telling DDEV to use that. And now we'll go back and visit our project. Just go to the home directory, and here PhpStorm recognized that was going on, immediately caught it. Now the first time you do this, it has to map your code to the code inside the container. And you see the code inside the container is at var www.html, and it says, well, what is it on the host? And it's this right here, workspace D11 web index.php. So I'm going to accept that, and here we are. We are in PhpStorm. It has stopped at the line that I set the breakpoint on, and here I can see all of the variables that are here, and I can step through this. So I'll step through with an F8, and I can step in. I can step into each of these functions. So what we've done is maybe I took 13 minutes. We started with a plain vanilla Ubuntu system with nothing installed on it. We installed Docker, we installed DDEV, we installed PhpStorm, we installed a Drupal 11 project and did the composer install on it. We ran through the installation, and then we debugged it with PhpStorm. So that's Linux, DDEV, 10 minutes, sort of. It was kind of 10 minutes, but we did a lot in 13 minutes. So we invite you to join us, ddev.com, docs.ddev.com. Join us in Discord. We'll have all of this in the recording and the blog post that goes with it. Thanks for joining today.